Delta Force.
Oh, yeah, look at that. We've got 5 groups competing today. That will be comprised each of 6 teams. They will be dropping in for an operation. Teams of 3, and only 1 team from each group will make it to those grand finals alongside an invited team. So we'll be seeing them later on in 2 days from now. You can see the prize pool breakdown on the right-hand side of the screen. $3,000 for that first place prize, but you've got to get to the grand finals first.
Absolutely do. So the top 1 team from each semi-final group will proceed through, and that's over a course of 4 matches. We'll be watching 4 matches today, but it will be through from Group A, Group B, Group C, and Group D. We unfortunately won't be able to get to watch any of Group E, but I'm sure they'll all be streaming. So if you want to catch some of your favorite streamers, you can go watch their streams. Or if you want to stick around with us and watch some fantastic Delta Force, remain on this channel. Or watch both. Do whatever you like. You've got 2 monitors, 1 monitor, 1 phone. That's even better.
Yeah, get all the tech involved, you know. Call over your friends, bring their phones too. Watch every single POV you can. But we are going to be jumping on in fairly soon. All of these teams have been competing to get here, and it's great that they've been able to find the opportunity to get here as well. In general, what they're looking to do is extract as much value from each of the maps as possible, and we will love it. And it's got a little bit of punch packed, but the first match is now locked and loaded. We have our 6 teams getting ready to try and get all the value they can. You can see the map on the right hand side there. Teams looking fairly split apart from one another for the moment, but the maps are quite small, Blank. They are pretty close by no matter where you are.
Yeah, I think starting here on Space City, definitely the objective and the aim of the game is to get over towards that central position. That's where the majority of the strong loot is. Dormitory side of things is pretty decent as well. You will have to loot a little bit more studiously, let's say, to get that done. But right now, RNG over towards that top side, very, very close to the businessmen who are on the north side.
The shots being popped. You can see the AI moving around. Important to deal with. They can do a decent chunk of damage to you. Won't be too hard to handle for our teams, I'm sure. But for now, they are chilling. RNG are revealing themselves, taking on these AI components. But doesn't look like they're in imminent danger. However, that might change fairly soon. People moving in on towards the north side.
Yeah, RNG fairly close now to green. And green right now do have the most extractive value so far with 200. Well, they did for a while until the colors changed. That's fine. That's fine. We're okay with this. we can figure this out.
We'll run the numbers.
Here. We'll run the numbers. We will run the numbers after this one. Don't you worry, guys.
Absolutely. Goodness me. Yeah, still going fairly chill with it. No teams really overstepping their boundaries. No one getting too close for comfort. Now, this is interesting, right? We saw not legendary loot being brought in, right? We're not seeing high-value loot being brought through on the drop already by some of these players.
Yeah, I mean, bringing gold armor in would be fairly decent for you. And we were talking about this earlier as we were wondering whether teams are going to be bringing in gold armor, gold ammo, maybe towards those later matches, depending on how much value that they've been able to accrue over the last couple of days. Again, it's very likely that you're going to go down here in a couple of these situations. Security Director, there's Moulins on deck right now. Should have some pretty nice loot on him if he's be able to take down, but I think teams are a little bit more preoccupied with one another at the moment. RNG currently taking things very slowly, and all respect to them as well, because you do want to be very cautious of how you play this out. Make sure you can get as much loot as possible, but I think these first, let's not say few minutes, but probably the first 7 minutes of the game is likely going to be just trimming down the numbers. If you're able to get rid of a couple of these players around you, then you can start to move a little bit more closely towards that center, towards a lot of the good loot. Unlike other games where there is a massive amount of teams in here, if you take down one, you know, that's already a lot of the lobby missing almost immediately.
And of course, the name of the game, we brushed on it earlier as well for operations, is to extract with the highest value of loot possible in your bags, in your possession, as you get on out of there. At the moment, it looks like Pro may be looking to move closer towards that CEO office, that very central area, and RNG the ones to face them. Potential for a little bit of a sweep through from the businessmen from that central command building at the top to maybe try and push down, but it looks like they're more concerned out to the east side. A little back and forth conversation here, but Pro not really finding too much. They have found one another, though, and our first battle is underway.
Yeah, maybe Pro just keeping things nice and easy at the moment. But 7 a.m. enjoyers. My screen. Yeah, it looks like we do have Stinger on board, which is what we assumed we'd see a lot of here. The businessmen, though, slowly getting up behind Magnum here. It's a little bit frightening, actually.
Uh-oh. Caught
He's
unawares.
very exposed.
Oh, they see him completely. They know exactly where he is. Stinger around the edge, looking to try and get a little bit of healing done there as well, but there's an answer. The flank comes through. They got more to deal with than they thought. The fortunate thing is they were right next to that cover. They can go for these reses. Magnum is down in the meantime, but he's got a little bit longer to go.
I mean, Poppy team on the sidelines, making their through alongside with Souls as well as Magnum. I mean, that looked like it was so in the bag there for the businessmen, but not meant to be. They do have to heal up, get those repair kits going. Looks like they chunked most of the vests as well, which is really unfortunate. Especially that happens a couple times. You're out of chest repairs. That's pretty much over for your vest, and you'll be taking a lot more damage. I've noticed that a lot of teams are using the AKM. Fairly cheap weapon, honestly. Still hits very hard. I think a lot of the top teams have started to use that a lot as well, but not for the reasons you might expect, right? The gun, although is decent, not as strong as maybe what you'd be looking at with a M4, but it's just cheaper and easier to get the handle of when you're running into these matches and get work done with it. So again, it's just a cheap option, which works very well if you don't want to have to bring in some of your most expensive kit into these lobbies.
Trying to conserve as they go around. We're seeing a lot more engagement here now, though. 3 teams in this location, Blank. You can see them all scattered around this exit. The triple bomb there coming on through. Trying to just create some space for the rest of his team. A nice little clip there. And that is how you do it. Cthulhu able to land the spray down along the sidelines. Spots an ankle. Sweeps it tactfully.
You got a ton of teams making their way over towards this location as well. It's getting very hot now. But Cthulhu's doing a fantastic job to keep his team covered, at least for the time being. Playing around this area, quickly dropping the smoke here, showing you just what a medic can do on the front lines.
Hey, just because it has that little healer symbol doesn't mean they can't dish out the damage as well. Nox coming on through. Cthulhu can't quite get the position, though, to get his teammate back up. And there is a pushback, a resurgence coming on through, lighting up the sidelines there. Spending a little bit of ammo. And you need to be worried now. No chance of getting their teammate back up. Done and dusted. These for the birds.
Yeah, good nades actually coming through. It's forced Cthulhu out of position. Again, looking for a little bit more damage here from Litos, who we're on board with right now. Taking some more shots down range. Yeah, it's a very, very slow match so far. We have lost 2 players.
Yes. 2 players so far. 1 knock, I think. Is that still? On the top right, you can see that little plus symbol. Wondering if that's I'm still alive but bleeding out. Have to wait.
I'm having a bad time.
It's definitely a bad time no matter what it is. But you're right. We've seen, I think, is that a full squad gone already? Or is that, does that not happen there? I'm not entirely sure. But either way, isolate.
We'll figure it out.
Try and control it. We will figure it out eventually, I'm sure. Around the side, trying to joust 276. Not quite able to commit to the spray. Cthulhu nearly caught there, but little bit of cover found as they start to move up, breaking out wide for Cthulhu.
Yeah, I mean, for Cthulhu, the only unfortunate thing right now is waiting for smoke grenades from his teammates to come back online.
Nice.
Good push-up, though. Takes down one and goes to flush, but
Oh, no.
the smoke has to quickly reposition. Isn't able to make it happen. And that is a good pickup from Index.
That is really fast as well, able to get that one done and back together, regroup, find that res, drop that smoke, get the cover. And that is exactly how you want to handle that situation. It was an excellent push out with the recon bolt from the Luna, able to scan the enemy, get that info. Did not expect that second swing. Nice team play coming on through.
Yeah, again, almost going to have the scan arrow available again. It's about 2% away. Maybe Pro currently making their way through. And look at this cluster of teams over towards that northeast side. I mean, no one's really getting away with this one. Got too many casualties, but it's a good pickup coming through from Souls as well as Magnum. That's from Poppy team, who've completely surrounded this location. So for 7 a.m. as well as Businessmen, it's not likely they're getting out from this one too healthily. But whilst all this is going on, there's a lot of loot being gathered from the center of the map here.
Yeah, they're sort of doing a ring-a-rosy around the middle with Pro and RNG just sort of giving ground, turning around. They know the value of being in this position in terms of their overall standings. You can see we've already got a team up to, what's that, 1.3 million, I think it was, as we're on board with 7 a.m. Index, I believe. Just searching through, trying to get everything he can, organizing his loot. One of the most time-consuming activities I find during these games is organizing your loot. It's playing Tetris whilst also playing an escape extraction
Delta
shooter.
Force.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's tough. It's definitely very, very tough. One of the more interesting parts of it. Again, getting loot on over on that side of the map on the northeast feels like maybe not the best timing for it, especially with there still being teams in the wings there waiting to pounce. Yeah, 1.1 million as well as 1.3 so far accrued. Only pushing that value further and further upwards. One team already leaving this match with 0 is a bit unfortunate. And although 3 players alive here for Team 6, nothing found at all.
Yeah, it's not ideal. You want a little bit more than that. Certainly that would be preferable. Almost famous there, just trying to spot over towards 7 a.m. It looks like they may have found one of them.
Yeah, spot on the P90. A little bit nicer at cutting off these close range positions, stop them from pushing on through. And for Almost Famous, you know, time's running out just a little bit. They can't be getting themselves cornered out here for too long. But I think that they're willing to wait as long as it takes right now.
I mean, they do have a little bit more time to play with, right? There's not a huge rush on it, but the rest of the loot is going to be taken away by the rest of these teams. We're starting to get to the point where teams can just extract, not go for these kills, not really prioritize going for players, and instead just get out of there with what they found. I mean, you've broken 2.1 mil. If you can push to 2.5, it might be time to just call it, you know, just get out of there, lock in that value, carry it forwards, because only one team gets to go, and having one of these good starts is excellent for you when you've got 4 matches to play today.
I think for 7 a.m. Enjoys, they've done really, really decently well here. 2.3 million already found. It's one of the teams that is absolutely caught up here. But if Almost Famous is able to take them out, they're able to extract a lot of that loot off the crates. 7 a.m. Enjoyers will leave behind. So the stress is mounting for 7 a.m. here, making sure they don't go down too early. Quick stim up here for Index. Keep himself nice and healthy. The smokes might come through here just to cut off this location so they can push a little bit further in. Magnum's still in play, which is an interesting part of this.
Ooh, finally, shots traded through the open doorway here towards the printing room. Nades, utility starting to be invested as well. Not connecting, though. And Almost Famous may have to be a little bit more worried. They could get caught in the cross as soon as the teams in the middle start to conclude their looting spree. Smoke out for 7 a.m. to get a little bit closer as well. Give them some mobility around the rest of this fight. Pinging it out. Getting ready.
A nice little...
Ooh.
He's got the lineup. There's no way he's got the lineup. I don't believe it.
Go on.
I don't believe it.
I believe. I fully believe. It's nowhere to be seen. It's completely... There's no way that was it.
No. Nothing there. Yeah. No lightning arrow drop down. Okay. I don't know where that thing went. That went straight to the moon. I left with a rocket ship on the south side of the map.
Hey, it's Space City. Got to start launching something.
AFC got a good hold here. I mean, realistically, what they need is a strong bounce through this little area on the left-hand side here. Get a bit of damage done. That's a good recon. That gives them good position. They might want to push with this, actually. They know two's on the left side.
Ooh, and they got one down, but it is traded off there. Looks for the lineup. An excellent little peek wide comes through from Polish Bigos to be able to keep the team safe right now. Almost Famous holding on, and over the wall he goes for the little flank around the edge, and a second player falls. The reses need to come through for Only Famous, but it looks like they are cut off from each other. There's only one player standing, I think, on both of these rosters now. He knows where he is. He knows what he's playing against. Moves out wide. 7 a.m. on their last legs, able to make it work. That is Almost Famous going down, and they will have to struggle for that glory once more.
Yeah, it's a good pickup here coming through from 7 a.m. I mean, a tough fight, to say the least. I think as soon as that recon arrow goes through, they get the position. There's two on that left-hand side. I think you have to push off it. It was a bit disjointed in terms of the ledge grab from the Luna. I think if that came in a little bit quicker, they would have had the cross angle come through. I think they were slightly worried about Rysart, but Rysart honestly didn't do really all that much and stayed prone for the majority of it, which is fair enough. His position wasn't amazing. But for 7 a.m., strong stuff. They get two players back up. In terms of value, they are still the highest in the lobby.
That is very unfortunate, though. I mean, losing one player actually takes a lot of your potential value out, right? If you lose one, you cannot carry as much out of this lobby as you would like to, which is very, very unfortunate. Cutting that down by a third can really have an impact. That makes 2 mil a really solid barrier to try and breach. So even if you get those kills, even if you're able to take slightly higher value loot, your ceiling starts to get a little bit close for comfort. So we'll see what they can do to get that back up.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at the guys coming through from 7 a.m., it's likely going to be time to leave soonish on that northern side. Get yourself out of there. Be happy with the loot they've been able to accrue. I mean, they're up to 2.6 million now, which is a case of juggling the loot inside the backpacks, which you can see they're doing right now. There is teams still on the screen over on that northeastern side. Don't worry about it. They are dead. They just still show where their death rates were lost. But RNG, on the other hand, they've been having a fantastic time. Just looting up everything they can. There still is a team in their close vicinity. They're keeping things as best they can right now with the 1.9 million, with the closest team at the moment at 293k. So only two teams really leaving here of a whole bunch of cash to be spoken of.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. You definitely want more than 300k coming out of this one, especially when you've got all three of your players alive. See how much more value they can get. The fact that they've managed to condense to 2.8 million for 7 a.m. over on that northeastern side. 2.8, 2.9. They're almost back up to 3 mil. Blank, I think it might be extraction time for 7 a.m. As they do break that 3 mil barrier, but it's really impeccable stuff coming through over on the northeast side. But not so lucky for RNG. It seems like they are only on that 300k, despite being in one of those central locations for so long.
Yeah, I think for 7 a.m., the difficulty now is getting down over towards the helicopter extract, paid extract, or the rocket extract. They'll have to wait. I think likely for 7 a.m., it's going to be a bit of a waiting game for them, for one of these two teams to get out as well. But they're likely going to stick it out until the final moments of the game. to ensure that maybe they can pick up the loot from one of those 3 teams that definitely dropped over towards that north side, one of the 3 spawn points. So it's an interesting one in terms of the fact, do these teams stay long enough waiting to see if they can pick off some of those players? Because you likely know that if a team went up against 3 other squads, 3 other squads, they should be wounded, which 7am definitely is right now.
Dropping that smoke cover, falling back. RNG moving away now. Gave ground, didn't find that initial pick that allows Pro to continue their ascent up the stairs. They would have heard those footsteps retreating. They're still going to be wary, but the smoke's cleared now as well, and they have managed to get up to the corridors. Those windows on the sidelines as they move down, not really going to expose them to too much, not too dangerous, but the information is there. If anyone wants to see it, a little bouncer on the underarm flash breaks the window, stops the damage being absorbed. We'll be able to clear the sidelines. RNG setting up one down. Ready for Pro. Pro turns, a little bit of damage, but not much more.
Yeah, they want to double peek, but this angle is nasty coming through from Hopsy, sorry. Yeah, difficult to keep him off there, but that's a lovely lightning arrow that comes through.
Ooh. Kyborg, nade over the top. Tries to clear the corner. That looked like a lot of damage landed there, Blank. You could see a lot of those health bars going low, and that's going to force them off the corner. Excellent connection, and RNG once more have to give ground.
Yeah, and the healing is going to take a little while here as well. I mean, look at the vest on these guys. Helmet almost gone completely. Vest completely gone for Gregor. Again, getting them off from that catwalk is so important. It's a really hellish angle to play a lot of times. But that nade just opened it all up, and they have to back off into this room now, which gives maybe Pro a lot more to work with. Now, there is a possibility that 7am takes this moment to figure out their way down towards that south side. I mean, 4 million, you absolutely just want to get out now, right?
I mean, it kind of feels that way, especially with 2 players. Imagine if they had a third. They would have been able to pack in quite a lot, I'm sure. Some super high value being extracted from this one. But they do just have to survive. Getting to an extract point is their next port of call. However, for RNG, it's getting more value out of this one completely. I mean, they're only on 300k with all 3 of their players alive. They've just been so focused on getting, I guess, eliminations, on holding some ground and trying to go late looting into it. So they're having a little bit of trouble gathering those resources. And there's no guarantee that they're able to win that fight, but they do have the most central position.
Yeah, it's real problematic. So 7am taking the zip line across Central Command Bridge. I'm going to start to move down. It's hard though, right? Because I'm going to have to go to the test range or the centrifuge facility to pull one of those levers for the helicopter. They could try and make their way all the way down to the rocket, but that's going to alert these 2 squads. But currently they are hot in pursuit of one another in terms of RNG as well as maybe Pro. So 7am could maybe sneak this one in. So I think that they completely do not know the situation, what's happening down on that southern side.
Transition occurring now for Pro. 2 mil in the bank. They do not want to get raided here. They're just taking care of those AI components. This means that RNG are going to be a little bit more free to operate how they want to. Oh, dear. That is unfortunate for Kyborg. They got a smoke, they got the healing. They'll be okay, but maybe not emotionally.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to definitely hurt the gear, though. And slow them down massively. Still 3 players up here. And you see them now. Now they're starting to look for those extracts, right? They're starting to worry about where these teams are going to be heading next. I'll be interested to see how many teams are able to get out here. Will it be 3 squads getting out with 2 million, 4 million, 300k, or will it just be the 1 team making it through to the end? That's 7am up top right now. It's RNG.
Oh, this is 7am though. They spotted Pro. Oh my goodness. If they can take down Pro here, or at least one of the players from Pro out in the open, it's going to be really hard to get them back up. 7am do know what's going on, but they are only 2 players, and taking a fight at this stage is a risk. Shots coming through, I think that might be from the area, but in comes RNG. Look at the minimap on the top left flank. You can see they are moving into position overhead.
Nice.
They're a little bit further up, but this is the crawl down the sidelines from 7am. They are trying to navigate to the south edge of this compound.
Yes, it's been very, very tactical coming through. It does look like they're heading either for the rocket extract or for the helicopter, but I don't think the helicopter's been popped just yet. So likely they'll defend out on the rocket. And I think they understand from the way that that team was playing in front of them that it's likely that they're engaged in combat right now. Flash goes through on the recon drone. Nothing found just yet, though. Kyborg is desperately searching. So we're going to get a quick go on the helicopter, get that one extracted. Just move out with the 2 million. I think they've realized that for running around with RNG, it's getting way worse for wear for them. 2 million, it's a good amount. And they'll be happy to leave with it.
Excellent results coming on through. And there's one of those knives we were talking about. Nice and silent. Certainly deadly to the AI. As Pro just trying to move past this one. RNG pretty close in the way. I mean, now that the helicopter extraction point is active, teams are going to be prioritizing looking for control over that. In the meantime, 7am continue to slip past, but peeks the corner, doesn't quite hold the angle at the right time there. Immediately destroyed on the gadget there. The flash not going to have an impact. Kyborg has to fall back, but there's the electro arrow. Will shock off the corner and isolate that position.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. In terms of maybe Pro, their Lunar play so far has been really good. In terms of using the electric arrow just to deny space, like they're not always that easy to place, especially in a position like that. So well played so far. That's actually a very nasty position to have to hold down. So forcing at least Gregor down on this low ground is decent for maybe Pro, but Ghoul's going to have to try and get himself healed up.
Ooh, a nade here for RNG might be in order. You can see they're looking to try and put them back down range as well. Try and stay alive, try and stay in that extraction zone in arm's reach of it. They're worried about their flank. They might as well be. Using these nades is eating into their value as well, remember. They're down to 1.9 mil, but they'll take it. They'll take that hit. Happy to expend that resource to try and get the rest of it out of there. 7am going to do anything about this? You can see them off in the distance there, just behind RNG's position.
I mean, either they're waiting to try and assassinate the helicopter extract. I mean, at this point, like, nothing's been happening. If you're 7am, you're thinking about just taking the rocket, but you're getting very low on time now.
Goodness me, everybody.
This would be a funny ending to the first match. No one extracts.
Nobody extracts. Everyone's too busy fighting each other. In go Pro for a little bit of a rotation. They go out wide here. Nice. A lovely little pick up there onto the corner. Keep themselves intact, but not so lucky. The crawl back comes through for RNG. Grego tries to reposition. And he does manage to get on the inside. Newt is already on that res. They need to get 3 players alive to stop this rotate coming through from Pro, but they're making their way through. Do 7am have a hold on this? Are Pro running into the waiting jaws of our current value leader?
I think for maybe Pro, they're just leaving. They're getting out of here. 2 minutes left remaining. Extract's got to happen. Nice jump. Getting across. Another one required. Getting those knives out. A bit more parkour, like you say.
Parkour. Excellent. You got to say it, otherwise they don't make it. It's the rule. Around the sidelines there. Little low ground rotation. Pro is still on the rotate. They're swiveling. They're getting gone.
Oh, 7am though. They are wandering right over towards them. Maybe Pro's been very cautious so far. 7am just biding their time, but time is not on their side. 1 minute 37 now left on the clock.
Index holding the corner. Trying to stay as silent as possible here. And Pro are going to be making enough noise to be aware of their presence. looks like Kyborg has spotted another team. It's RNG. I mean, they haven't left from this engagement yet.
This feels like
RNG are going to be trying to push into this same extraction area as well. I mean, Shaw Pro are here. Hang on a minute. Index has this corner. He's got one on the line. Up 2-3. Is he going to be able to get the spray down? Doesn't catch Ed. Oh, it does get one knock. There's backup from across the way. The flash around the corner keeps them at bay. There's
nice.
those nades coming in on through. Trying
overclocked
to
as well now.
move those shots forwards. The res not really accessible just yet. They're going to have to wait a little bit more. But 7 a.m. now looking for value. Breaking out wide, and there's another team ready awaiting. RNG have just spotted one, and behind the cover. Get the healing done. Index is there in the smoke. Tries to step forwards. So much danger. And 7 a.m. may have just thrown it all away. 4 million in value. And RNG? Are they down too? What just happened? No, they extracted.
They're out.
But they didn't get the value. Oh no.
That is unfortunate. 1.9 mil, 10 seconds to go.
Wait, did both teams extract?
I think maybe...
Because I'm seeing 4 mil, and I feel like that might be it.
I think that might be it.
Wait, the other teams didn't even extract. What is going on?
Oh, that is...
What just happened?
Painful to say the least.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's an interesting end. I mean, it was very, very high octane all the way until those final moments. I mean, 7 a.m. just sat inside that smoke as long as they could. I believe it was a double extract potentially there for them. They lived for it and managed to get out. But for maybe Pro, on the other hand, who had done so much up until that point,